Hello everybody, my name is Nick and today I'm going to be showing you how to remove, clean, and reinstall bearings on your longboard. Before I get started, I just want to give you a quick fun fact about longboarding. Longboarding actually started in 1959 in Hawaii after surfers on Hawaii realized that there was some correlation between surfing and skateboarding. So they decided to mix the two together and created the longboard. Now myself, I've been longboarding for over 5 years now, ever since I started college. And myself and all longboarders have one thing in common, and that's to have the smoothest and fastest ride we possibly can. There's a lot of ways you can do this. Most people, like me, try to find freshly paved pavement to ensure a smooth, fun ride, but the best way to ensure it is to clean your longboard bearings frequently. In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove, clean, and reinstall bearings on your longboard to ensure that you have the smoothest ride you possibly can. Before we get started, we're going to go over the things that you're going to need to clean your longboard bearings. First thing is a T-tool. You can find this in any skate shop. This is just a series of sockets that are in one convenient T-shape. You're going to need Q-tips to help dry and clean your bearings during this whole ordeal. You're going to need an X-Acto knife to help remove the shield off your bearings. We're going to get to that in a minute. We're going to need an Allen key or a screwdriver too, works as well if you don't have one, to help get the bearings out of your wheel. And last but not least, you're going to need a lubricant, which I have on the end of this Q-tip here, a silicone-based lubricant specifically. You don't want to use vegetable oil, canola oil, or anything like that. You want to use WD-40 or speed cream is what we call it in the longboard community. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your longboard over here, and you're going to use your T-tool to remove the nut off of the wheel here. I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a minute. Pretty simple procedure here. You're just going to twist it off like this. I'm only going to be showing you how to do this process on one wheel because instead of showing you the whole entire cleaning of all four wheels. So you're going to first remove this nut off the board and place it aside over here. On most every board, some boards don't have these, there's going to be a washer that goes before the bearing. You're going to want to take that off as well. And then this is the actual thing we're going to be cleaning today. So we're going to get that out of the wheel using the Allen key I mentioned before. And this is a little bit of a tricky process. You kind of have to pry it out a little bit, but eventually that's going to come right out. And now your longboard has been removed, or your bearing has been removed off your longboard, excuse me. Inside of your wheel, you're going to find a spacer that goes in between the two bearings. There's also a bearing on this side of the wheel as well. So each wheel has two bearings. I'm going to remove this one as well with the Allen key. Some of these are in here pretty well just because of the nature of longboarding and what you're doing. Sometimes they can get lodged in there pretty well. So I'm just going to pop that off really quick here. And like I said, this process becomes easier over time, but eventually you find ways to make it go a little faster. So there's the second one off there. Next, I'm going to show you how to remove the shield on your longboarding here, which is this gray piece on the end right here that's right by the tip of my fingernail. You're going to take your X-Acto knife and insert it into the edge of the bearing just like this. And you're going to use a prying motion to get that out. Now be very careful when you're using the X-Acto knife because they are extremely sharp. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert it into the edge of the bearing like this. Sometimes it's easier on the inner edge of the bearing, just depending on what kind you have. And I'm going to use a prying motion to pop out that shield. So I pried it up from the edge just like that, and I'm going to pop it up and off the bearing like that, and that exposes the actual bearings on the inside. So then from there, you're actually just going to take a bottle of rubbing alcohol. This is just isopropyl alcohol inside of a Gatorade bottle. You're going to slide it in there, and you're going to just shake it like this for a little bit, just to get it nice and clean. And then once you do, I don't know if you can see, this is Nico down here. This is my friend's dog. He's a good dog. You're just going to take it, the bearing, and try to get it out of there without spilling water all over. Let's see. Typically I do this right by a sink, but I don't have a sink near me, so I'm just going to try to get this out of there with my finger like this. There we go. All right, now that that's been cleaned, you want to make sure that you dry this very carefully. I've got a bunch of paper towels here. I'm just going to use to, Nico's very intrigued in what I'm doing, to dry off my, my bearing here. And again, you want to make sure this is completely dry before you reinstall the shield. So I'm going to grab one of my Q-tips I have over here and just kind of run around the inside like that. That's going to move the bearings around in here in a circle, and it's going to dry them out completely. So now that that's nice and dry on the inside, I'm going to take the lubricant that I have on this Q-tip and apply it into this bearing using the same similar motion. You want a good amount in there, not too much, not too little. And apply it in there and then kind of spin it around a little bit to kind of get it moving, just like that. And then we go in reverse, which I'm going to show you how to do. You take the shield and pop it back on here like this. Then you take the bearing and you push it back into the wheel like this. Take the other bearing, or actually no, not yet, don't take the other bearing. Take the spacer, place it inside of the wheel well, then take the other bearing and put it on top. Then you take the wheel and put it back on your board like this. Sometimes it takes a minute to line up the spacer. Just gotta tap it around in there a little bit. And then, there we go. And then make sure, don't forget this washer. I've forgotten it a million times when I take them on and off. And then you tighten the nut. And you put it back on there just like that. And now you have successfully cleaned the bearings on your longboard. And in conclusion, I've showed you how to remove, clean, and reinstall the bearings on your longboard. Everybody has a little bit of a different way of doing this, but this is the basic way on how to do it. And I know this video has a very specific audience, but I'm sure everyone who sees this is going to cross somebody who longboards at least once in their lifetime. And with the skills you've learned in this video, you can show them how to have the smoothest and fastest ride possible by cleaning your longboard bearings. Thank you.